straight up off the rip, bro. Just take this whole list and throw it in the garbage. Just take the whole list, just throw it in the trash. From
Man,
the
starting off
beginning.
lit.
Like you might as well just stay, like get rid of it and just start all the way over. Cause first off, you have Soul Calibur at number one. How you have Soul Calibur at number one when that's like the first Soul Calibur? That's the best one out of all the Soul Calibers. You can't think of any other Soul Calibur game that came out after that might be better than that one. Come on, man. MVC2, I'll admit, I'll admit that probably deserves to be on the list. Probably, maybe. Third Strike, okay.
Probably.
Uh, Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, really? That's the best Street Fighter game that you've ever played. It's not even the best one. There were other Street Fighter games that came out that are already on the list, like Third Strike, that were better than Street Fighter 2. You're gonna tell me that there were no other Street Fighter games that came out that were better than that? Oh my gosh, dude. Tekken 3, that's just nostalgia. Let's see.
Boy.
Uh Killer Instinct. I mean, Killer Instinct was pretty great. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty great. MK9. I mean, I think MK9 is good, but it loses points because Ferritor's not in it. CSV2, CVS2. Why is that so low? Like,
Real
you're
question.
gonna put that at a number 9? Like, almost like you forgot to put it in the list.
That's the
Like,
real question. Man,
like what? And Smash Ultimate. Okay, I can deal with Smash Ultimate. I don't know, man. Like, for the most part, I don't. Bro, the thing that really sticks in my craw is that Soul Calibur. You're gonna put the. You know what? I'm gonna just let Mr. Game Lift go, man. I got more to say later.
I'm gonna be honest, looking at that list, man, I kind of agree with most of the things that's on this list. Order wise, I don't even know if it's in order. I think they just put these on there. I don't think those was it in order.
yeah, because at the end when they was really kind of going back and forth on if they wanted to put Soul Calibur 1 if it was better than MVC 2. So this was their order. But I think it's just kind of jumbled because you have three people trying to like come together as one and make a list. So,
Okay.
you know, like
I
for
mean,
example, KI 2013 being on this list, I'm sure you can guess who fought very hard for that to be on the
oh
list.
yeah, Max definitely put that on there. I mean, this outside, I would change a few things. Like you could debatable, you could put Soul Calibur 1, Soul Calibur 2. I agree with either one of those. So I can definitely see why Soul Calibur 1, that game when it came out, it was literally leagues beyond what we'd ever seen in a 3D fighting game. It was ridiculous. And it was the first game, if I'm not mistaken, that trumped the arcade version. Because remember, this is a time when games were in arcades. And I went back and
Dreamcast.
played the arcade version of Soul Calibur, and it looked terrible compared to the home console version. So that right there almost enough in itself. The fact that this home console version of a game was far superior than the arcade version. MVC2, come on, man. When that game came out, I was 9 years old. I'm 33 now, and I'm still playing MVC2. And like it's been revived. So I mean, it just from the competitive scene, what it brought, just the hype for the game. Come on, man. It's MVC2. Third Strike, same thing as a hype game. I think it's a cool one. I didn't play it a lot when I was younger, but I see the hype around it. I know it kind of had a rocky start. People didn't like some of the characters and stuff like that, but I mean, the pairing system has got one of the best. Of course, we always go back to moment 37, one of the best moments in fighting game history. So
Overhyped.
there's lore there. All right. Street Fighter 2. Now, this is the one my compatriots over here talking about, man, Street Fighter 2, bro. Street Fighter 2, you cannot have a top 10 fighting game list without Street Fighter. The legacy to that game,
Sure you
bro.
can.
Now, if somebody has Street Fighter 1 on here, I'm a question I'm a question you on everything that you've ever said. I'm never gonna listen to your opinion again. But Street Fighter 2, the jump, first off, the jump from Street Fighter 1 to Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 1 was horrendous, horrible. If they had made another game like that, they probably would have been done for. Street Fighter 2 has a long living legacy of competitive history. It was like one of the first games that had like commercials and tutorials. I think it was who was the guy that was in that commercial? It was showing like just kind of like some basic stuff how to play the game. I don't think I had seen that for any other fighting game. Like Come on, man. Street Fighter 2, it's got to be on the list.
Are you done?
Tekken 3, no. Tekken 3, I agree. UMVC 3, for me, I'll probably put that over MVC 2 for me personally. But if I had a list, probably both of them would be on there. MK9, I can see why they put that in there. I would probably choose like UMK3. KI, I'd probably choose KI Gold. CVS2, yes, it's definitely a decorated game. And Smash Ultimate, I'd probably put Melee up there. But for the most part, I agree with this list.
Wait, you think Gold was better than the original?
Yes.
Killer Instinct Gold was better than the Super Nintendo version?
Yes.
Okay. I ain't saying you speak. I ain't saying you crazy. I just, I'm just making sure.
Tusk, Kim Woo.
I ain't say. I just asked.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, I agree with this list, man. For the most part, I agree with this list.
Man, look, of course, everything Devin said about the original Soul Calibur, nobody's going to dispute that and stuff like that. But are we really going to sit here and say Soul Calibur 2 ain't the best Soul Calibur of all time? Are we really going to sit here and not say Soul Calibur 2 is a top 3, probably top 2 3D fighting game of all time? Like, if anybody has heard me for a minute, I've been telling everybody that Soul Calibur 2 is a top 3 fighting game of all time. I've been saying it. So the fact that they got it here, a Soul Calibur game on the list, I agree, is just the wrong one. MVC2. Now, look, I don't know. It just seems like top 10 making etiquette that you just don't have like the same of a franchise, the same one of a franchise. Typically, if you have like one, you don't like put another one on there. You just say the best of the best one. But I mean, it's kind of hard with fighting games because it's like I don't know how you only have one Street Fighter as a top 10 fighting game of all time. So I don't know. It gets kind of weird because typically when you make top 10s, you don't have multiple of the same franchise. I mean, the same IP, but I don't know. Capcom just released so many bangers, they make it hard. It's kind of weird to me to have MVC2 and MVC3 on the list, but I mean, they just, and then I guess you can go back and forth on which one was better. You got some people that say MVC2, you gonna have some that say MVC3. Third Strike, why don't people understand? And I'm glad there's some people that agree. Alpha 3 is just better than Third Strike. I'm sorry. How you gonna have Third Strike on the top 10 fighting game list and not have Alpha 3 on it? I mean, Street Fighter 2, get it off the list. How in the world you gonna have Street Fighter 2 on the list and not have Street Fighter 4 on the list? Are people could literally go sit here and say Street Fighter 4 ain't better than Street Fighter 2?
I would have Street Fighter 4 on my list.
You wouldn't?
Personal. I said I would.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's so many other. It's different Street Fighters that's better than. I ain't gonna say so many, but I mean, you can name at least 3 Street Fighters that's better than Street Fighter 2. Tekken 3 people, that's like a toss up. Some people say Tekken 5 DR or just Tekken 5 in general is better than Tekken 3. So I leave that to the Tekken people to debate. I already said about MVC3 with MK9. I feel like Devin, it's a toss up between MK9 and UMK3. KI 2013. I don't know if I'd put it on there as a top 10 fighting game of all time, but I mean, the way Max, just so eloquently broke it down of how amazing it is. I mean, he kind of sells it. So you kind of just be like, so this is the biggest travesty on here to me. Why is CVS2 so low? You gonna tell me CVS2 ain't at least topping MK9, one of those MVCs?
You put it lower than Street Fighter 2?
That's like almost the biggest crime on the list. CVS2 being 9? What? And then Smash Ultimate, like, it would be legit blasphemy for you to not put a Smash in the top 10 fighting games of all time. Now, I know, some people came in the comments, Smash is a party game. No, that's Mario Party. What are you talking about? Are you saying Smash and Mario Party is the same thing? Like, so, I mean, well, it's a platform fighter. It's a fighter. Like, you got to let it go, bro. Like, you got to let it go. to not have a top 10 fighting game list with some type of Smash Brothers on it, I mean, it's just biased, like honestly. So my biggest things with the list, I mean, I'm kind of CVS 2 being so low is just criminal. Get Street Fighter 2 off here. You got to have a Smash game on it. Wrong Soul Calibur. Why ain't Alpha 3 on this list? And then KI 2013 is just kind of like, I get it, Max.
I mean, Alpha 3 didn't really have a competitive scene like that, so
What you
kinda
mean?
had one.
Well, overseas it was.
That's what I was saying, like not compared to Third Strike.
Third Strike ain't better than I don't care. It wasn't better than Alpha 3. I just don't care. You're not gonna get me to say Third Strike was better than Alpha 3. Just as an overall package, like fighting game, y'all was on here last week. Modes. Alpha 3. Like
yeah, Alpha 3 did have a decent amount of modes. Yeah.
Like World Tour, story, amazing
Dynamic
cast,
battle.
Looked great. The only thing people could say about it, people have been saying about it, is like, well, Xism was busted. I mean, even the legends like Daigo, Justin Wong, and everybody will tell you Third Strike was dumb busted. So what we talking about?
Yeah.
Like Alpha 3 just better than it. And
Besides,
then
they put that in Third Strike anyway. Like with
let me address when I said
I mean, Marvel 2 ain't got a lot of modes, and you can't say it's not the best fighting game of all time.
I'm leaving that
Marvel 2 ain't got a
alone.
lot of
'Cause I ain't
modes.
trying to,
MVC 3 ain't got a lot of modes.
I'm
Neither
trying
one of them.
I'm trying to go amongst the internet, with no problems. I ain't saying nothing about no MVC2. But
I'm just saying, like, it's based off more than stuff like that. It's like a whole lineage, a legacy of what the game was, the scene, how people received it, how much it was played, how if it's still going on.